Everyone who watches or reads The Lord of the Rings associates Sauron with one thing: the One Ring. In the movies, the moment the ring is cut from his finger, he loses his immense power, and by the Third Age, we see him trapped as a flaming eye atop a tower. How accurate is this picture? When we look deeply into Tolkien's lore, a crucial question arises. How powerful was Sauron through his own innate ability, either before the One Ring was created or when it was not on his finger? The answer might surprise you. Even without the One Ring, Sauron was one of the most dangerous, intelligent, and destructive beings to ever walk Middle-earth. Before we dive into the deep lore of Middle-earth, if you enjoy exploring Tolkien's legendary universe, please take a second to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also support our work on Patreon to help us create more detailed lore guides and gain access to exclusive rewards. Now, back to the Dark Lord. Sauron was never a mortal king or an ordinary wizard. He belonged to the Maia, divine spirits who descended into Arda during the creation of the universe. This put him in the same order of beings as Gandalf, Saruman, and the Balrogs. However, Sauron held a special place even among the Maiar. His original name was Mairon, meaning the admirable or the excellent. He was the most talented pupil of Aule, the Vala of craftsmanship and smithing, altering the structure of matter, constructing massive fortresses, and designing complex systems were inherent to his nature. When Morgoth seduced him to his cause, Sauron did not become just a warrior. He became Morgoth's chief strategist and lieutenant. While Morgoth represented raw destructive power, Sauron was organized, disciplined, and calculated evil. Long before the One Ring existed, during the First Age, the elves called him Gorthaur the Cruel. During this era, two of Sauron's greatest abilities were shape-shifting and necromancy. He was the master of werewolves and illusions, capable of trapping souls, binding spirits to his will, and controlling beasts. He could transform his physical manifestation at will, taking the shape of a massive werewolf, a giant serpent, or a vampire lord. In the famous Song of Power duel between him and King Finrod Felagund, Sauron defeated the Elven King solely through the sheer strength of his incantations and mental dominance. Sauron's power in the First Age wasn't built merely on raw physical destruction, but on mind control, deception, sorcery, and supreme tactical command. In the Second Age, Sauron disguised himself as Annatar, the Lord of Gifts, to deceive the elven smiths into forging the Rings of Power. Shortly after, he forged the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom. This is where the biggest misconception lies. The One Ring didn't add external, extra power to Sauron. Tolkien clearly explains in his letters that in order to dominate the wills of others, elves, men, and dwarves, Sauron had to pour a vast portion of his own native spiritual power into the ring. When he wore the ring, his inherent power was focused and amplified like a magnifying glass. When he was not wearing it, so long as it remained undestroyed, his power was not diminished. Because the ring existed, Sauron remained spiritually bound to that power. Even in the Third Age, while the ring was in Gondor or around Frodo's neck, Sauron still drew upon his full spiritual capacity. So, what was Sauron capable of doing when he wasn't physically wearing the ring? First, his capacity for mental domination was unmatched. While captured and taken as a prisoner to Númenor, the most powerful kingdom of men, a ringless Sauron used no weapons. Through speech and psychological manipulation alone, he corrupted the king, swayed the entire nation into worshipping Melkor, and brought about the utter destruction of Númenor. Second, he projected an overwhelming aura of fear. Sauron's mere presence altered the atmosphere around him. Even without the ring on his finger, he could coordinate vast armies of orcs across hundreds of miles, using his sheer willpower while instilling paralyzing terror in his enemies. Third, his physical body possessed incredible supernatural heat. According to Tolkien, Sauron's physical form burned with such intense heat that during the War of the Last Alliance, he killed High King Gil-galad simply by grabbing him with his bare hand. Finally, during the Third Age at Dol Guldur, long before he regained his physical shape, or the ring, he operated as the Necromancer. Even the White Council, consisting of Gandalf, Saruman, Galadriel, and Elrond, could not easily destroy him. Sauron simply chose to strategically retreat to Mordor. To summarize, Sauron was far from powerless without the One Ring. The ring was not the source of his power, but rather an external vault containing his inherent strength. Even without the ring on his hand, as a Maia, he was far more formidable than Gandalf or Saruman. The only forces capable of stopping him were the direct intervention of the Valar, or massive historic alliances combining the absolute maximum strength of elves and men. What made Sauron truly terrifying was not a sword or armor, but his unbreakable will, boundless strategic genius, and his ability to corrupt the minds of others.